What are the main challenges for the European migration policy?
Well, there isn't any. I mean, we don't have a common migration policy. We don't have asylum policy. So what they know and what they are doing is they build up a fence around Europe, and they handed out this whole field to the military people, like Frontex, organizing the protection of our borders, but at a high cost, a high number of people losing their lives in attempts to come to Europe. This cannot go on like this, and I hope that people, starting from this debate today maybe, are working for it, that we find a better solution than just sealing off the fortress Europe.
What is a striking development in the development of the European migration policy?
Sorry?
What is a striking development? What is like a milestone? Or
Yeah.
Is there any?
We have with the development that led to the Schengen space, which is a wonderful thing to happen. I mean, I'm a convinced European. Yeah, we crushed the borders within Europe, and we have now our common borders outside. Basically, there's nothing to say against. It's wonderful. But what's not happening now is that the inner countries, the big countries like my country of origin, Germany, they are not meeting their responsibilities. They do like they just leave Maltese or Greek forces dealing with people who would appear. And as long as there's no burden sharing also within Europe, a lack of solidarity within Europe, we have a responsibility also for each and every little boat disappearing beneath the waves somewhere out there. And this is something we have to remind our politicians about, and hopefully we will lead into a path. It all started in 1990, funnily, 1 year after the fall of the Iron Curtain. How is it possible? I was born in Berlin, so what happened exactly 50 meters from my room was I saw the wall, I saw shooting heard at night, all this full-scale defense technique, and this wall is not gone. We just celebrated 20 years of the fall of the Iron Curtain, of the Berlin Wall, but I have to say it just wandered a few kilometers more south and east, and it's still there, and it has a large scale of victims, and we have to face this development. It's an atrocity, and it endangers the identity of Europe as a continent of human rights. Always discussing, we are discussing the security questions. We're focusing on that, and we have a whole upbuild of a future border army within Frontex and the rapid action border intervention teams and all this. But what I see behind it is we have to see that it is an ongoing European policy, also responsible of driving people out of their homelands. Why do they have to leave? There's a lot of reasons that we give to them, starting from the economical, the world trade, which is quite unfair, quite unjust. And then leading up to the climate change. We know now that there will be tens of millions of people losing their ground. They cannot stay where they are. And who's to blame? It's us, because Africa as a whole continent is lower than 5% in the emission of this greenhouse gases. So, earlier or later, we will have to meet our responsibility. I'm always pledging for earlier, because then we have a chance, to find a smoother way. If we deny our responsibility, as it's done now by our leaders, then it will only lead to an further escalation at the borders, and also within Europe, because you can see it now here everywhere. You see the criminalization of immigrants, and together with this criminalization of the immigrants or refugees, the criminalization of those who try to assist them or to help them. And I'm talking as one humanitarian actionist who was put to jail for rescuing black people. You know, what is going on exactly? We have to stop this development and find better solutions. And an event like this tonight is really encouraging to see how young people, especially, are willing to face, the problem. And I think they are quite cleverer than our leaders nowadays, and I hope for a better
What
future.
was the most striking thing you heard this night during the debate?
It was like Scar told from their experience in the European Parliament, having the leading guy of the Frontex agency, which is a Brigadier General of Finland, Ilkka Laitinen, and asking questions, and the guy would just deny the answers. How is it possible? This arrogance, and so you see how the home policy is in the hands of military people, and we are a civil society, and we should do whatever possible to keep this as one of the key identity factors in Europe.
And one final question. What do you think is important that the people take home tonight from this debate?
I hope that they will think over, We all know we have our attitudes in our families, in our neighborhood, and so it's so easy to claim others to be responsible for our problems, like foreigners coming. And it's not that we should see them more, people worldwide, as people who could bring new chances and new input into our societies, because we need it so much, referring to the stupidity in the leadership, actually. So I hope that there will be some of the young people here taking home another thinking and maybe also other feelings about the change that is hopefully coming, and it's peacefully coming, and it's up to them also in the future to carry this kind of a new policy that we all need so much.